Hello, my name is Carl Surrey, and this is a video tutorial for the Facebook group called Fans of Serif Software. Now, this is a tutorial for Affinity Photo, but in all honesty it will work just as well in almost any photo editing program that can use layers and blending modes. So Serif's other photo product, Photo Plus, this will work just as well in. There may be just a few occasions where it doesn't work as well in, but I can't really think of any off the top of my head where it wouldn't work the same in Photo Plus as it does in Affinity Photo. The whole point of this tutorial is to look into using overlays. Now, overlays really are just an image, be it a texture or a special effect that you may want to add, like sparkles or rain or what have you, that you put above your main image, and then you change the blending mode and possibly opacity to get the effect that you want. Now, this all started when in the Facebook group Martin Mackay put a question: is there any free sites to get overlays? The first suggestion I said was to try a free, royalty-free website like Pixabay. Just do a search for overlay and you will get quite a few choices. Admittedly, a lot of these are not really overlays, but you have these textures, and I have downloaded this one and this one over here. So a lot of these may not be that usable as overlays, but there are 3 pages of them, so I'm sure there will be some textures here that you could possibly use. So I'll be using those 2 that I mentioned in the demonstration. And so I then sort of did a much wider search for Photoshop overlays, free ones, and I found this one, which is by the Coffee Shop blog, which offers free stuff to photographers. So you may want to check out this website just for the fact that there is, I'm assuming, free stuff dotted around this website, but they might all possibly be Photoshop friendly more than any other type of photo editing program. But this one, you get 5 free sparkle overlays, and as you can see from this image before and after, that's the one without the sparkle and this is the one with the sparkle. And there is a written sort of tutorial underneath this and what they did and how they did it, but we probably wouldn't be able to use this in Affinity Photo because they're using Photoshop actions to do part of the effect, and which is something we can't use in Affinity Photo. But you could still use the overlay part of it, which is the sparkle. And if we come down to the bottom, down here, we got the download Coffee Shop Starburst overlay set, and you can just download that from there. And like pretty much all of these, apart from the Pixabay ones, they will download as a zip file. So you just need to extract that zip file, and then you can then use the JPEGs or whatever format the images are. Now the next one I come to is from Photoshop Tutorials, and they're offering a free download of 6 Flare and Haze overlays. Now the main advert is for 30 overlays. Get rid of this. But this is this part here has the image of the various types of sparkles and haze and what have you. If we come down to the bottom, if you go for the totally free download version, you just get the 6 overlays, and they're a small size of 2000 by 2000 pixels. If you want to pay $6, you can get the whole 30 overlays, and they will be 8000 by 8000 pixels. And if you want to join Sparkle Stock, you can get the 30 for free. But I just went for the 6 free downloads. And the next one I looked at was this Florabella collection, which is snow overlays. This one, you just need to give them your name, your email address, and when you click on this, I can't remember whether I had to confirm the email address, but I think it goes straight to the download page. And the last one I'm going to look at is by photographypla.net, or if you take the dot out, it's Photography Planet. Quite clever. Now this is a Photoshop bundle, and there's a lot of this that won't be much use to us, Affinity Photo or even Photo Plus users, because there's a load of Lightroom presets here. There's quite a few of those, and then there's Photoshop actions, which again we can't use. I mean, if you have Photoshop or Elements, you may be able to use these actions. But the bottom section is the overlays, which we can use up to a point. These ones here, the overlay part is the text. So you've got husband and wife together for life and other things. But I will be having a quick look at that later on. But there are some other overlays, like there's sparkles, some rain, and so another snow one there. And then you've got some more text ones. So again, they just want your email address, and then you can click on get the bundle, and you go to the download pages. So these are the main ones I'm going to look at. So let me shut that down. I don't think I need the internet anymore. So I'm coming back to this image here. Now I know this image will not be suitable for necessarily for all the images. I mean, for example, like the snow one, I mean, it's obviously not a very cold day, so probably not going to get snow on it, but I'm not going to keep changing the picture just to suit the backgrounds. So the first two I'm going to look at is the two that I got from Pixabay.com. So all I need to do is get the one that you want, select all, edit, copy, come back to your image, and come to edit and paste. Now 9 times out of 10 the image will not be the right size for your particular main image, so you just come to the move tool and then resize it to fit. I'm not going to alter the blend mode just yet. What I'm going to do is come to the crack overlay one and do the similar thing here. Select all, edit, copy, come back to this one, and then edit, paste, and again resize this to fit. About there. Right, I'll just hide that one a second and come back to this texture here. So now we just need to find a blend mode that works best for your taste. So a lot of it depends on how much of this texture you want to show through. That one's not too bad. That's overlay. Soft light. You can hardly see the texture. Hard light is probably a bit too strong. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with overlay, so you can still see some of the texture through that. I'll then come to this top layer, and so we have this cracking effect. And what I will do with this one is I'm going to come right down to the bottom, and I'm going to go to erase. And what I should have done here is to have this texture above this, because this is erasing the texture as well. So I'll just move this up to the top here, like that, and then so this looks like the texture, like the image was on a textured piece of paper, for example, and parts of it have peeled off. Not necessarily a fantastic thing, but it does show you what you can get by adding one or two overlays, and how you blend them is will affect the outcome. So what I'll do is I'll turn those two off, and I'll come to the next one, which is rain. So again, select all, edit, copy back to my main image, and make sure that one's highlighted, then edit, paste. Now this one, let me just zoom out slightly. As you can see, this image is much bigger than my background image, but again, you can resize it or leave it as is. And with this one, if you have an overlay like this where we got basically black and white, the blending mode you're looking for is screen, because screen will pretty much remove all the black pixels. So you can resize this. I mean, if you make it bigger, you'll sort of space out the raindrop a bit more, and I could reduce the opacity, so you can just sort of roughly see this rain falling from the sky. I mean, if I was doing this properly, I probably would have altered the background image to sort of take a lot of the colour out of it, so it's not such a bright day with a lot of rain coming down, but you get the idea. Right, so I will hide that one and come to the snow. Again, it's just a case of selecting, copying, and then pasting, and this will be pretty much like the rain image, in fact, because it's black and white, using the screen blending mode. Again, I could alter the opacity or stretch out the picture to space the snow better, but as you can see, that now looks like it's snowing. So I'll now turn that one off, and these next two I'm going to put two of these together. These are the Flare and Haze overlays that came from the 6 free ones, where you got 6 for free, or if you wanted to pay for them you could get 30 of them. But this is the light sparkle one with the lens flare there. So again, I'll select all, edit, copy, and edit, paste. And like I said in the introduction, these ones were only 2000 by 2000 pixels, but as it's only really an overlay and sort of will be blended, I'm not sure that whether it pixelate a little bit is not necessarily going to be a problem. So we just need to find a blending mode that works. A lot of it depends on the effect you're trying to get. I think I quite like the overlay on that one. I might, no, what have I done? Yeah, overlay. What I meant to do was just tone down the opacity slightly, so it's not so bright up in that corner. About there, I think. And then I'll come to the haze one. So again, copying and pasting. And then finding a blending mode that works. It may end up being overlay again. Overlay and screen seem to be the best two that work. Yeah, not bad. Soft light. Yeah, I think soft light possibly because it allows this sort of lens flare effect here show up better. It's sort of not so well defined in overlay, but in soft light it shows up better. So that is those ones working together, so you can combine them. So I'll turn those two off. There is another one which I've missed off somewhere. It should be, where is it? Is it that one? Yeah, the Starburst one. Yes, I've forgot to do this one. This is the 5-free Starburst that was I mentioned in the introduction. So select all. Sorry about this repetition of copying and pasting. And then edit, paste, and again, because it's got a black background, I'm going to go for the screen blending mode. I'm going to resize this, and then it's just a case of putting it somewhere that you want, because I mean, by the looks of this, the shadows are sort of going from right to left, so I'm guessing the sun is up here somewhere. So having the Starburst on this side of the screen does make slightly more sense. I'll just reduce this down the size a bit more and just put it up there. So I mean, you could then keep adding more if you wanted. So that's that last one, and then the very last one I'm going to look at is one of these text overlays that was part of that Photoshop bundle. Now with these ones, these aren't JPEGs or other image files, they are PSD files. Now a PSD file is pretty much like the Affinity Photos AF photo files, in the sense that it saves all the information, the layer information and any tools that have been used. Affinity Photo can open a PSD file, but you can't necessarily sort of really edit it too much if there's like tools are available, for example, because I'm guessing the, like for example, hue saturation or levels tools probably work in slightly different ways, so you wouldn't be able to then go in and re-edit it to your liking if there's like any tools available. But as this is really only images, like shapes and text, we can use this to a bit. What I'll do is I'll click on the bottom. I don't want the background, so I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to click on the first layer above it, come to the top layer, hold down shift and click that, and that will highlight all of those levels. I will just right click, come to copy, come back to my image here, and then edit, paste, and it will then paste all those levels into this file. Now what I'll do is I will zoom in a bit to where that is, and if I again highlight all of those layers, I could then resize it and move it to wherever I wanted to. Now the difficulty here is that obviously you may not want this text, the text here at the JSON level. You come to the text tool, it sort of won't let you in to edit it. So what you could do is hide that and then use the text tool to insert your own text, while keeping the shape part of it. You could just then change the text to suit your needs of whatever you want to use with this logo. So you can use those text overlays, but you may just have to sort of be a bit crafty and work around them, because you can't edit them as well as you'd like. I mean, the shapes you may be able to twist and rotate or whatever if you wanted to, but I don't think it would really be worth the effort, because if you like the logo, there's not much point in altering the basics of it. You just want to alter the name that's in it. So basically that is the end of what I can show you. So I've shown you how to sort of find some free overlays. I mean, you could probably find loads more, but they're the 4 or 5 that I found quite quickly, and I've quickly shown you how to use them. So I know Martin didn't ask about how to use them, but I thought while I was going to make a video and what have you, I might as well include how to find them and how to use them. So I hope this has been informative and that everybody has got something from this. So you could then be really silly and start adding in all sorts. No, I don't like that one. A bit of snow, a bit of sun flare, starburst, and a logo. There you go, 3 different overlays all working together. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.